It's a massive matchup at the home of the Panthers when Highland Springs comes marching into Chester Fritz. Welcome to Sportswire. I'm Will Catterley. Highland Springs versus Hermitage. How much more can you ask for besides two of the oldest Henrico County teams battling it out for bragging rights and playoff positioning? And both teams came into Friday night's contest playing great football. The homestanding Panthers were winners of their last four with only one loss to Varina. Meanwhile, the Springers hadn't lost since Dinwiddie back in mid-September. Without a doubt, the Springers and Panthers came into this one hot, and they left us with an instant classic. So to Chester Fritz Stadium we go. It's Highland Springs, it's Hermitage. First quarter highlights, easy squeezy lemon peasy. This looked easy for Highland Springs on the drive. Antoine Richardson connects with Damari Brooks, big-time gainer through the air. And then Antoine Richardson going to take a casual stroll down the sidelines for a gain of about 20, good for a first down. And that would lead to this. Eric Bird is, and still will be the word, the touchdown run for Highland Springs. And just like that, Springers have an early 7-0 lead. That would be the score in the second quarter, where Hermitage would find answers. Third down, Ben Yane played a great game. Falling back, throwing double coverage as receiver. Johnny on the spot, making a play on the ball. Elijah turned the page. Could Hermitage turn the page and beat Highland Springs? Yane doing everything he can to make sure that does happen. So does Michigan commit Andre Clark Jr. with a big-time catch and connection deep inside Springer territory, inside the 20. Yes, the ref says that was a catch. That would lead to this. Panthers got a ground game of their own, and his name is AC. Turning up the cooling jets, Avery Curtis with the touchdown. Right back in this one are the Panthers, tied at 7. Still 7-7. You want more AC? How about AC for the TD and a block to boot? Look at him go! Almost 90 yards to the end zone! Touchdown, Avery Curtis! Touchdown, Hermitage! And just like that, the Panthers on the prowl. They got the lead over the Springers. 14-7, 3:06 to go in the second. But ensuing kickoff, these plays are always so paramount, so valuable to teams that end up on top. Number 8 making a big one on special teams. Malik Bullock, a bullet. What a return for the Springers deep inside Hermitage territory. Now, to Hermitage's credit, their defense would hold, but the Springers get a very valuable field goal from their secret weapon, Anthony Barrett. And yes, Hermitage had the lead, but it was only 14-10 at the half. Second half, Springers come out firing. Richardson wasn't exactly throwing it all over the place through the air, but when he did, it mattered. Damari Brooks with the catch. And then, this is the man of the hour for Highland Springs, Eric Bird, with his second rushing touchdown of the evening. Springers back on top, 17-14, 7:20 to go. Hermitage says, we got answers for that. Ben Yane, roll out, rolling, firing, finding his receiver. Number 10, Tyson Brooks, inside the Springer 30-yard line. That would lead to this. Ben Yane, always buying time in that pocket. Ben Yane firing, got his man. It's AC for the TD. Touchdown, Panthers. AC with the touchdown catch. He also had 214 yards on the ground and 3 scores. 21-17, Panthers, 3:31 to go. But when Highland Springs really needed to turn it on, they returned to the ground and pound, the running game. Antoine Richardson, short touchdown run, puts Highland Springs back on top. They would have a 24-21 lead with a minute to go in the third. To the fourth quarter, still 24-21, time for Eric Bird. In a battle of big-time running backs, both Hermitage and Highland Springs runners were the stars. Bird had 191 yards on 23 carries, including not 1, not 2, but this Wildcat 3-touchdown performance for Eric Bird, who flies into Chester Fritz with the touchdown. Highland Springs offensive line working wonders. 31-21 Springers, so this game's over. Only 8:46 to go in the fourth. Hermitage says it ain't over till we say it is, and Ben Yane ain't done. Firing, finding the refs, but also a wide open Brooks, Tyson Brooks, who had a great game receiving himself, setting it up first and goal. What would they do? Well, read option, dialing his own number. Ben Yane, touchdown Hermitage. They're right back in this one. Panthers down by 3 after the extra point, 3:22 to go. Waning moments. Tick, tick, tick. Hermitage needs a big play. Who else but turn up the AC? Avery Curtis. First down and more. But still, tick, tick, tick. Only 16 seconds remain. Hermitage only has one play left in their arsenal. That would be the Hail Mary, greatest play in football, other than maybe the onside kick. So, here we go. Benyane. Who's he going to look for? How about his number one receiver, Andre Clark Jr.? 3 defenders. Clark comes down with it. Clark comes down with it. Oh, but he's out of bounds. He did not get a foot in bounds, and Highland Springs survives a monumental clash at Chester Fritz. The Springers get the win. 31-28 is your final. Meanwhile, at Mills, Godwin senior night for one Camden Lockhart, one Richard Golombeski, and several others, from cheerleaders to band to football players, you name it. The fans were ready on Toga night. And a big rivalry renewed. It is Godwin, it is Freeman. Need I say more? Konstantinos Cavanes opening drive. Big time game for the running back would lead to this. Number 5, Luke Crazy Legs Roberts down the sideline. Roberts across the goal line. Touchdown, Eagles. 40 yards on that scamper, and Godwin fly, Eagles fly. They had a 7-0 lead. Ensuing kickoff. I don't show enough kickoffs unless they're returned for a touchdown. Nice kick coverage by the aforementioned Richard Golombeski. However, Freeman got it going on the ground, and they had a running back of their own. Look at him go. It's Evan Dyers, ED for the TD, and Dyers would be a huge factor for Douglas Freeman this one, tying it up at 7 apiece, under 8 to go in the first. Back to the ground game. Luke Crazy Legs Roberts for a first down. Luke Roberts handing it off. Konstantinos Cavanes, the 1-2 punch. That was the Godwin offense for the most part. That's good for a first down. Yeah, keep feeding me, says Cavanes, and they should. He's been a prime factor. But Douglas Freeman's defense would hold, and then they got the running back going once again. This time number 22 doing the honors, Julian Gambrel. And then back to the ground and pound game. Alexander Saunders carries it. Same drive, second quarter, a pass. Firing, finding Drew Nunnally. Godwin wants none of Nunnally. That's good for a first down. And Freeman looking like they're going to take the lead. Evan Dyers on third down makes it a first down, nearly a touchdown. Either way, it would lead to George Davis. This play dialing up his own number, 1-yard touchdown plunge, and the Freeman Mavs with a big response, 14 unanswered, take a 14-7 lead, 9-12 to go in the second. Back to Cavanes. You can't go wrong with Cavanes. Freeman's D does a nice job there, but it's good for a first down. Luke Crazy Legs Roberts going to use his not-so-crazy arm, but accurate, pinpoint. Some mustard on it as well. Stone Gravett making the grab. And then roll out. Roberts fires, finds. Incomplete, they call it. Nice job by the corner, Robert Fishburne. Defensive back makes a stop on fourth down. So Freeman takes over, looking to add to a 7-point lead before the end of the half. What do? Hand it to Evan Dyers, which would set it up for this. Nice looking screen pass to Alexander Saunders. Saunters into Godwin territory for the first down. More from Davis. Flying deep, but that's a wobble, and the Godwin Eagles come up with the interception. Great play, defensive back Stone Gravett. Nice game. Nice season for Gravett, both at wide receiver and DB. He gets the pick, and just seconds before the end of the half, throwing it deep for the Hail Mary. It's going to be intercepted just short of the goal line. Got to go for it. Got to understand that play right there. But it would be 14-7 at the half. Third quarter, it wouldn't take long for Luke Crazy Leg Roberts running down the right side and almost to the end zone, down inside the Freeman 2-yard line, over 60 yards on that carry. It would lead to this. Konstantinos Cavanes, touchdown run for Mills Godwin. Tino, 97 yards rushing on 21 carries. Luke Roberts had 161 on the ground. We are tied at 14. But when Freeman needed him the most, they went to Dyers. Evan Dyers ran 16 times for 138 yards, and nothing more important than this particular drive. Freeman firing, finding George Davis had a couple of big-time connections as well. Alexander Kingsbury for the first, and then Dyer's got a seam. Dyer's inside the Godwin 20-yard line, and it would set it up for this, for Douglas Freeman. Dyer's. The touchdown run, 6 yards away, and Dyer's puts Freeman back on top, 21-14, 6:37 to go. Freeman, after a defensive stop, clock is ticking. Godwin needs a stop to give their offense one last chance. The pass good for a first down would lead to this. Fourth down, they line up for the field goal, and Freeman gets Godwin to jump off sides, and Freeman would kneel on the ball and steal the victory. They win the West End rivalry. 21-14 is your final.
It's back to the gridiron when we return. Varina has some Thursday night football when they play host to Atlee. Plus, it's playoff time for field hockey. Godwin and Glen Allen battle it out in the regional semifinals for the right to play for the title and clinch a spot in states. That's next.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Welcome back to SportsWire Playoff Field Hockey. Anyone? It is undefeated Godwin, the number 1 seed in Class 5C against Glen Allen, the number 4 seed, and the action was fast and furious. First quarter action, Godwin firing, finding the back of that, she shoots, she scores! Zoli beats the goalie. Zoli Murphy puts Godwin out in front with the goal. 1-0 Eagles fly. Glen Allen too good not to come back. Transition game, well, it is their game. It was Godwin on the attack. Glen Allen gets the steal, and they are good as gone. On the breakaway, she shoots, she scores! Firing, finding the back of the net. It's Arden Ebbison, the senior. And just like that, we are all square at one apiece. This was a very fast and furious opening period with 6 minutes in counting. Godwin comes right back just minutes later in the attacking half, and picture perfect just like the first goal. Number 8 had a lot to do with the success. Bridget Foster. The pass, and guess who? Zoli Murphy beats the goalie again. Goal, Mills Godwin, and the Eagles take a 2-1 lead. Godwin would never look back, as it turns out. Still first quarter highlights. Hinton was fantastic in net again from Glen Allen. It was just too much Godwin in the attacking zone, creating chance after chance. Here come the Eagles again. This time deflected, but it would go for a corner. So, Mills Godwin. Great passing, firing off the rebound, and eventually gonna somehow get cleared out by Glen Allen. Still, another corner just moments later. Firing from the top of the circle, she shoots, she scores! Emma Sampson strikes! And so do the Godwin Eagles. With another big goal, a 2-score lead when these teams are this good is a big deal. So 3:34 and counting to go in the second. Now Godwin has a 3-1 lead, looking for 4, and they would get it. The rebound trickling in, firing, finding the back of the net. Madeline McGuire. She shoots, she scores, and just like that, the Eagles would have a 4-1 advantage, undefeated on the season, and looking to punch their ticket to states. They played great against an excellent Glen Allen Jaguar field hockey team. Later, Hinton did her job. Julia Hinton with a couple extra saves here. Godwin would add another goal, though, late, and they survive in advance. 5-1, your final. Back to the East End, and they're doing flips on Route 5 for how good Varina's football team has been. Look at those helmets with the little Route 5 right there on that line in the middle of them. I mean, those helmets are straight up fire. No joking around. And yeah, it's a chilly night. October has finally shown up, the cold part of October. Opening kickoff. Here come the Blue Devils. Jeremiah White. Huge return to set up the Blue Devil offense, taking on the Atlee Raiders in this one. Deep in Atlee territory as that kick off return put Varina in really good shape. They were in great shape all game long. And what a game it was by one Caleb Weiss. The touchdown run from the QB position. Yes, he's got the skills. We've seen it all year for him to do that. Easy squeezy lemon peasy, 6-0. Varina, the defense, they came to eat as well. They were hungry. Number 44, Dylan Washington. He's been a force to be reckoned with on the defensive line. And then Weiss got going through the air, firing, finding his receiver, Trevon Rogers. He'll take it all the way to the end zone over 30 yards on that play. 14-0 Varina at that point, and then the scoreboard kind of turned to a pinball machine, put it on tilt. Did Caleb Weiss and this Varina offense. Weiss firing, finding Damari Carter, D1. Not done. Touchdown, Varina. Blue Devils in control, 20-0. Still 5:06 to go in the first. Want some defense? Yeah, we got some more defense. Trying to do the read option. D-line for Varina. Too fast, too physical, too big to allow that to happen. Braylon Hood and company, linebacker, getting in on that. How about a quarterback sack? Number 21 doing the job, Raymond Hudson. A lot of guys came in at 8 in this one for Varina's defense. Offense, kind of the same story. The catch, good for a first down. Trevon Rogers on the receiving end. And then Caleb Weiss once again firing, finding his receiver for the touchdown. This time it's Ivan Thompson, Von Thompson for 6. How about some special teams too? Yep, they got that going. They get to the punter, and they get Atlee gets the recovery, but it's 4th down, so it's Varina football at that spot, and then Caleb does his magic. Weiss to D1, who was not done. The touchdown for Varina. 30 yards to pay dirt. Absolutely dominant. 36-0 at that point. Some more Varina D. Number 21 was in the backfield all night. Raymond Hudson. Heard his name once. He'll hear it again. And then back to Weiss and company. Yeah, he can do this pretty easily too. Slippery, evading tacklers, getting the first down. Tune-up game. Varina has Highland Springs the night before Halloween. Pass, caught. Another touchdown for Weiss. This time he finds number 2, Sire Rex. Rex takes it the rest of the way for the touchdown. Ensuing offensive possession. We're going back to the wishbone. We got backups on D now for Varina, and they ate as well. Jahan Payton plasters the running back there, and then big man up front. Hey, it's a highlight reel for Raymond Hudson on this night. All Varina in this one. Caleb Weiss had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 first half touchdowns. Of course, D1 was one of his targets, but he threw the ball all over the football field. What more Weiss? You got him. Wide receiver screen. Trevon Rogers. He's got a caravan, and he's got speed. Rogers inside the Atlee 20. He was down before the ball came out, so they would set it up for this. Razzle-dazzle. Little reverse for Trevon Rogers, who's going to take it to pay dirt. Varina put half 100 on Atlee in the first half alone as Rogers and the Varina offensive line pushes him the rest of the distance. It was 50-0 at the half. Varina would win this one going away. 69-6, Blue Devils. That's your final.
Well, basketball season may be just around the corner, but it was a major tournament at the middle school level, taking center stage at the Henrico Sports and Events Center. I'll explain coming up. Plus, Glen Allen football takes on Trinity. That and more straight ahead.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back to SportsWire. Welcome to the Henrico Sports and Events Center, where 16 middle school girls basketball teams, 12 from Henrico, 4 from Hanover, across 8 different courts, played each other, putting their skills on display.
we wanted to find another way to incorporate getting all of our athletes together, and with the Henrico Event Center, we thought this would be an excellent way for us to showcase all of our talent in Henrico County.
Our ladies have said it's cool to be here and see many athletes of different skills, different abilities, all under one roof. They're looking forward to this year after year.
The event had over 230 basketball players, not to mention over 300 cheerleaders and over 2,700 fans.
Yes, it checks all the boxes because it gets our kids, Henrico and Hanover kids, into this complex and let them see what it's like to play in a big tournament.
This first annual tournament may be the first of many.
Oh, I think it's amazing. I hope this is something that we can continue on for not only our ladies basketball, but also the guys. It's a lot of good basketball going on, and we're looking forward to it for the future.
Our team is on fire!
The future holds. If it's up to me, it will be running as long as we can. And I think with the administration and the support that we're getting from all the schools, I don't see this stopping. I just see it growing.
And the Henrico Sports and Events Center's also been the home away from home for the Henrico girls volleyball team. Well, the court gets a makeover at the home of the green and gold. Senior night, congrats to the seniors for Henrico, taking on the Hermitage Panthers. Panthers out firing. Erica Dan, you just saw there with a service ace. Later, Henrico on the serve, looking to make a little comeback here. Nice block at the front of the net. She knocks it down for the point. Caitlin Rawlings with the score right there for the green and gold. Later, still first set. First 1-2-3 wins. Number 17 on the serve for the green and gold. Hermitage getting it back over and getting a block of their own. This time in the center of the net. Number 11 really had a nice night. Abby Roberson with the point for Hermitage. And then that doggle hunt. Point. Big Herman. Lady Panthers on the prowl. Still first set action off the serve. Nice little volley here. Hermitage, Johnny on the spot, however, up 24-13. That ball is out. Point. Panthers. And the Lady Panthers take the first set, 25-13. To the second set. Herm on the serve once again. Lady Warriors looking to even things up at one set apiece. That'll work. Number 5 doing the honors, Shanice Davis with the point. But the serve went the way of Hermitage for the most part. Number 12 had a good one, Lauren Fitzgerald. More from Fitzgerald. Panthers can't corral that one. Fitzgerald coming up, aces, as was Hermitage. Second set looking to run away and hide. Ace, ace, ace. Fitzgerald was absolute money. More Fitzgerald, you got her. On the serve. This time, it goes the way of the green and gold. Warriors come out and play they did. They get the point right there, but Fitzgerald, a little too much for the green and gold as the Panthers take the second set, 25-11, and they were dominant in the third as well. Here comes Fitzgerald. She had ace after ace after ace. No answer for Lauren Fitzgerald. More Panthers late in this one. Number 22 getting a whirl at it, Melina Bolas. And Melina, point! Panthers, they take the set and the match. 3 sets to none. Yay! 25-13, 25-11, 25-6. 3-zip is your final. Back to the gridiron we go. You don't see this matchup every season or every day. It is the Glen Allen Jaguars at home taking on Trinity Episcopal. Back up quarterback, Luke Perini. Use a force, Luke. Use your arm. He looked great in this one. Jabari Harris on the receiving end, and then he kind of threw in a little bit of danger here in fourth down, double covered, but it did hit his receivers in the hand. It was a fourth down. It was incomplete. Trinity takes over, and on the ground, that's where they made their hay. Number 7 in particular, running the football, Carson Parks. And then watch this by Parks. Think he's down? No, he stays up. His arm never went down. His legs never went down. He kept his balance inside the 10-yard line. Should have been called for a false start on this play. Didn't happen. So instead, it'll be an end-around touchdown Looks like the Baltimore Ravens, maybe a little bit better. Number 4, Davion Brown. What can he do for you? Score touchdown. 7-0 Titans. Meanwhile, roll out. This is the dangerous pass, but it works for Perini. Luke Perini firing, finding his receiver all the way down the field. Davis Fisher inside the 15-yard line. And later, after a little bit of a celebration penalty, Perini throwing moonshots to Davis Fisher. Touchdown, Jaguars. 7-6 would be the score. PAT would be no good, but it's anybody's ball game. What does Trinity do? They go back to the ground and pound. And number 7. Not going to see enough of him, unfortunately, for Glen Allen. Carson Parks gets it done. Same drive. Second quarter, wide receiver screen thrown to perfection. Davion Brown, his second touchdown of the night, and the Titans take a 14-6 lead. 11:44 to go in the second. Jags trying to find a way defensively. Tricky Titans. Here comes Brown. He scored not 1, not 2, but yeah, he is gone. 3 touchdowns on the night for the Titans. Trinity Episcopal now up 21-6. They would add a field goal to make it 24-6. Glen Allen was not finished, however. Second half action. Jags in the third quarter. Perini firing, finding his man wide open. Number 9, Cooper McPherson for the touchdown. They would go for 2 and make it, cut it to 10, but that is as close as Glen Allen would get. Jags fall to Trinity. 27-14 is the final there. Other scores, deep run close, but no cigar. 31-28 and a barn burner against TJ. Jefferson gets the win. Hanover beats Henrico 47-7.
Remember, if you have questions or comments about the show, just send me an email to this address, sportswire@henrico.k12.va.us, and be sure to follow us on X and Instagram. Plus, you can always catch episodes of the show on YouTube. I can't wait to see ya next time on Sportswire.